Hi everyone, welcome back to the Casual Watch Review channel. So in this week's review, I have a watch that I've seen many times on social media. It's by a company called MML and it's affectionately called the Dumbo. It's a micro brand that has been on Kickstarter and now is on Indiegogo, and I'll leave a link to the campaign down below. This has been sent in for the review on the channel. This is going to go on to another reviewer. This isn't a keeper. But as always, you'll be getting my honest review of this watch. When I saw it on social media, it looked so different than other watches that are being produced at the moment that I couldn't pass up the chance, and I actually reached out to them myself and asked them whether I could review this watch. Now, they're going to start at $300, and there's going to be, I think, a total of 11 different versions. This one clearly is the black DLC version. That's also why I'm wearing a glove, because black DLC has the, it's going to pick up my fingerprints when we do these close-ups on here. There's versions with leather straps on there. This one clearly has a metal strap on it. And then they also have a version with a NATO strap on it as well, or the NATO strap comes as an option. The case design, the attention to detail on the case for a watch that starts at $300, I think is absolutely fantastic. The way they've done this square design, and that square design, the crown fitting perfectly into the corner here, and is completely protected. The way that the crown has the knurling on it, and a very smooth action to unscrew it, I think is commendable, actually. The way that they've recessed the strap into here is a nice touch. Now, there's certain limitations with that as well. They sent me a NATO strap with this watch, but I've not even attempted to get it into here, because even if you could kind of wedge it in, because the spring bar would be completely hidden, I think it would put a lot of pressure onto the spring bar. So if it was me, I would keep it on this metal strap. Now, the metal strap design is something that they've been playing around with. This is 24mm strap, and they are going to taper this down as well. They've been keeping me up to date on Instagram, and if their communication and keeping me up to date is any reflection of how they're keeping their Kickstarter backers up to date and how they would be responsive to you as a customer, then I think they're going to do a very good job of that, to be perfectly honest. This watch, starting at $300, has a lot of value proposition to it. We're looking at a sapphire crystal on here. The $300 one is going to start with an NH35A movement. I believe they're also going to be doing a Solita version as well. We have a ceramic insert on the bezel, which for a watch that's $300, I think is commendable. I mean, Seiko doesn't even do ceramic bezel inserts on watches that are 3 or 4 times this price, and I think ceramic, not only does it add a nice glow to or a nice shine to the bezel, also obviously a lot more hard wearing. The bezel is a coin edge bezel, and extremely smooth action to it. It's been a lot of fun kind of playing with this bezel. I believe it's 120 clicks, certainly feels like it anyway. I'm also a fan of what they've done with the dial. They've kept the handset very sensible, considering the watch itself is larger than life, shall we say. They've kept the dial very sensible. The choice of the applied indices here, I love the orange hand on this one, using that vintage Seiko style hand that we used to see on the early Seiko models, that has the rectangular loom pip on it, and then the sword hands themselves with the sort of the halfway line on it also looks really cool. I'll throw up a loom shot here as well, so you can have a look at that. The watch is affectionately called the Dumbo, and it's not named after the Disney character. It's named after an octopus. Now, I'd never heard of this octopus before. It's called the Dumbo octopus. Apparently, it's quite rare. There's only 11 to 13 variants of this species that's ever been found in the wild. I'll throw up a picture here and you can kind of get an idea of where it gets its quirky name from. Now, the overall dimensions of the watch is it's a 24mm lug width. We've got a 46 from lug to lug, and then there's the thickness that we can see on here. It is slightly thicker because it has that back that is protruding out. The back of the case is domed. As we can see here, there's a domed effect to the back case. Now, on first glance, you might think, why have they done that? It certainly has a vintage sort of aesthetic to it, and I'm sure it adds to the depth rating. This is a 500-meter diver. I imagine the case, if you apply pressure to the back of the case here, it's going to expand slightly and make that seal even tighter, I imagine, is why it's got this domed effect to it. So on the wrist here, very comfortable. It's surprisingly light. My wrist is 7.2 inches. So here we have it on the wrist, 24mm strap. Now, a lot of the back and forth I've had with the company is how much they're refining this strap over time. They're going to have a taper to it. They're even going to alter the way that it kind of slopes down here. This, normally I don't go for DLC watches. This was just one that they'd sent me in for review. The reason I don't like it is because, first of all, I'm not a fan of all black watches, to be perfectly honest. But also, you know, it scratches over time. But I have to say the DLC coating they've put on here is of a very high quality. Even on the inside of the links, I think this strap is aluminium. I could be wrong, but it certainly feels extremely light. The attention to detail, the way that it's glossy on the ends but matte finished on the links here, and the way that they've got the DLC coating in between the links, they've done a very good job of this. I've been playing around with this watch for a few weeks now, and it hasn't chipped. And this, I don't think I'm the first reviewer to have this watch either, so there's been no other marks on it either. This dot on the side, I think this is a helium escape valve on the side, because it is a 500-meter diver, which is commendable at a $300 price range. So overall, I think they've done a really good job of this watch. Honestly, it's not to my personal taste, just because of the size of it and the dimensions. It's not a watch that I would particularly buy myself, but I think the person that does buy this watch is going to really like it. It's large, it's making a statement. You've got multiple different variations. They've done a bronze one, stainless steel. You can have it on this strap. You can have it on a leather strap. The attention to detail, the way they've recessed the crown on here, the craftsmanship and the design that's gone into a watch that starts at $300, I think is pretty cool, actually. I'll leave a link to the comment section down below. Those are my thoughts on it, guys. As always, I'm more interested in what you guys think of it, so let me know in the comment section down below. Are you a fan or not? As always, I appreciate any comments you leave. If you want to contact me directly, please feel free to contact me on any of these social media links or directly at thecasualwatchreviewer@gmail.com. As always, I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time on the Casual Watch Review channel. Thanks, guys. Bye.